today we'll be going through a moving body scan. So if you practice mindfulness or meditation, you may have come across body scans. These are often practiced maybe lying down on the floor with your body not touching anything, or you might practice them seated in a meditation that way. Today we're going to do something slightly different. We will be doing a moving body scan. So often when we do a body scan, we aren't moving that body area, body part. So what we'll be doing today is drawing our attention to that body part as we move it. This is going to help with a few things. It's going to help with mobility of that area. It's also going to help connect the neurons from that body part to your brain. So it should be, or hopefully will be for most people, a stronger connection than just focusing the mind there, because we're actually got some movement there as well. So if you do struggle with meditation, if you do struggle with being still, if you do struggle with bringing attention to different areas because sometimes we just can't feel, we feel a bit numbness there, which is perfectly normal, then this might be a better practice for you. And we're going to do the practice standing up as well, and you might like to have something next to you just to help with your balance, because occasionally we will be going onto one leg and we don't want to take the balance away from, say, the foot to the actual balancing motion. So just grab a chair, or you can use a wall. If you've got a wall, that's perfectly fine as well. And we'll just come to a comfortable standing position. And we'll just start by taking 3 deep breaths in. You might like to close the eyes or soften the gaze. Breathing into the belly, inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth, sigh it out. 2 more like that, inhale. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. 1 more time, inhale. And sigh it out the mouth. Great, now just let your breath return back to its natural rhythm. And we'll start by bringing our attention to our head. And we'll just take our hands and we'll just start to lightly tap our head, starting at the crown of the head, moving towards the back of the head, going around the side and then coming forwards. We're just covering the whole head, very small tapping motion, moving down behind the ears, the back of the neck, moving across the jaw to the chin. And making our way up the cheeks, below the eyes, to the nose, to the third eye, to the corners of the eyes, and then back down to the chin. And then we can just release the arms. And from here we'll just take our chin towards our chest. And then we'll gently rock the head side to side, so bringing the right ear over the right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin to chest. So just moving side to side, keeping our attention on the back of the neck, noticing how the back of the neck feels, whether you feel any tightness, maybe you hear some popping, some cracks. And then bringing the chin back to centre, and then just lifting the chin up. And then we'll continue to send the chin up towards the ceiling, stretching the front of the neck, bringing the attention to the front of the neck. Again, noticing how this feels. And then bringing the chin back to center, sending the gaze over towards the left, bringing your attention to the side of the neck. And then back to center, sending the gaze over the opposite way, bringing your attention to the opposite side of the neck. And then bringing your chin back to center, moving your attention down to your shoulders, starting with the left shoulder. We'll start to roll the shoulder up towards the ear and then draw it down the back. Just moving the shoulder in these circles, making those circles as big or as small as you like. Noticing how the shoulder feels. You might feel some tightness. You might hear some crunching. You might not feel anything at all. And then coming to stillness, moving to the other side, starting to draw the right shoulder up towards the ear and down the back. Just noticing how this shoulder feels, whether it feels any different to the opposite shoulder. And then coming to stillness. Now bring your attention to both shoulders together as you draw them up towards the ears and draw them down the back. 2 more times, up towards the ears and down the back last time, keeping the attention on those shoulders, rolling them up and down. Now moving your attention down to the elbows. We're going to start to just swing the arm, bending at the elbow, bringing the hand forward. Trying to keep the attention at the elbow, at that movement as you start to create some movement there. And then just releasing the arm, moving to the right, start to bend the elbow. And releasing now both elbows together, bending the elbows, bring them forward and down. And release, just let that go for a moment. And we'll continue to move down to the wrists, starting with the left wrist. Start to just make some circles with the wrist in one direction. And keeping the attention on the wrist, noticing how it feels. Do you feel any pops, cracks, any tension? And then just shake it out, release that hand. And move on to the right wrist. Start to draw some circles with the wrist. Keeping your attention on those circles. Maybe visualizing the joint moving. And then just shake it out, release it. I'll start to draw circles with both wrists in the opposite direction as what you did before. And just shake it out, release. So moving on to the fingers now, we'll start with the pinky finger on the left hand. Just start to move that pinky finger. Just trying to keep the other fingers still if you can. Just draw the focus onto that pinky. And then we'll move on to the ring finger. Just trying to move the ring finger, keeping the other fingers nice and still. And then moving on to the middle finger. You might notice it gets a bit challenging to keep the other fingers still. Just trying to move that finger. And if you can't, that's perfectly fine, just notice that. And then moving on to the index finger, moving that finger. And then finally the thumb. And then just shake it out, let it go, release. We'll move on to the left hand, start with the left pinky, start to move that pinky finger, keeping the other fingers still if you can. Just keeping the focus on the pinky. And then moving on to the ring finger. The middle finger. The index finger. The thumb. And release, let it go, shake it out, shake both hands out. Maybe just releasing the fingers, shaking both, or 10 fingers out. And release. Now bring your focus to the left arm, just shake it out, the whole left arm. And then the whole right arm, just shake it out. And then both arms together, just shaking both arms out. And then just letting the arms hang still next to the body. Just noticing whether you feel any tingling in the arms, any heat. And then from here we'll bring the arms out right behind us. We'll bring our focus to the back and the chest now. So as we bring the arms out wide, open up through the chest, bring your attention to the chest. And then exhale, bring the arms forward, chin to chest, round through the upper back. So we'll move through these standing cat-cows, bringing our attention to the chest as we bring the arms out, opening up through the chest. And as we exhale, chin to chest, rounding through the back, bring our attention to the upper back. So as we come forward, focusing on the chest. And as we exhale, focusing on the upper back. Just moving in your own time. And then after the next round, just releasing the arms down. Come back to standing. So now bring your hands to your lower back with your palms facing down. We're just going to gently go into a gentle supported back bend by pushing the hips forward. Bring your attention to the lower back. Notice whether you can feel the hands supporting the lower back. And then inhale, pull the navel in, come back to center. Keep moving the hands to the hips. We'll start to make some hip circles. You can make these circles as big or as small as you like. And we'll start to bring the attention to the hips and the pelvis. Just noticing how this feels. And then switching direction. If you notice that your mind wanders at all, just bring the attention back to that body part. You can notice how it feels. Just visualize the movement. Maybe notice if you hear or feel any pops, crunching, and then coming back to center. So from here, this is where you might like to use your chair or your wall. Just lift the left leg off the floor and we'll just start to gently swing the left leg, bending at the knee, bringing the attention to the top part of the leg and the knee. And then come into center, start to roll the ankle, bringing your attention to the left ankle. And then switching directions. And then bringing that left foot down. We'll move to the opposite side now. So just start to swing the right leg, starting at the hip. And then start to bend the knee, bring the focus to the knee. And then moving down to the ankles, start to make some ankle circles, keeping the focus on the ankle. And then switching direction. And then placing that foot back down. We'll move onto the soles of the feet now. We'll just start to rock back and forwards on the feet. You can keep supported by that chair or wall if you like. And we'll just notice the weight on the feet. So as you rock back, you'll notice the weight on the heels of the feet. And as you rock forward, noticing the weight on the ball of the foot. And then we're just going to rock side to side, noticing the weight move from the left to the right foot. And let's see if we can make some circles, keeping the feet grounded, just moving the weight of the body and noticing how that feels on the soles of the feet, and then changing direction. And then coming to stillness. Bring the arms down by the side. And from here, just lift the big toes off the mat, keeping the 8 smaller toes on the mat. And place the big toe back down. Now lift all 8 toes off the mat, keep the big toe grounded. And place them all back down. And this time, see if you can leave the big toe and the pinky toe on the mat and just lift the 3 middle toes. You might be able to do it on one foot, not the other. You might not be able to do it at all. Just notice that we're just trying to work with the neuron pathways, so just drawing the attention down to the toes. And then place all 10 toes back on the mat. And we'll draw our attention back to our breath. Taking 3 deep inhales. Feeling the belly expand. And exhale, feel the belly soften. And again, inhale. You might like to imagine the air into the nostrils, going down the throat, to the chest, the ribs, the belly, and exhale out the belly, to the ribs, to the chest, out the throat, and out of the nostrils. Last time, inhale, exhale. And then just as we stand here in stillness, try and notice the whole body together as one. Letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. And if you've got your eyes closed, you can open your eyes now. And that brings us to the end of that moving body scan. I hope that you found that beneficial. I'll write a little article that just talks a little bit more about the practice and maybe some scientific evidence to support how beneficial this is as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you for practicing it with me.